Hello everybody. How's everybody doing today? I thought today I'm gonna show you um what I did with my hair. And I've done it once before and actually looked okay. We'll see how it looks now. So what I did is I washed my hair, right? You know, you have to wash it once in a while. And then I put braids in it in the back, a big one on this side and a little one on this side. And I slept on it, so that's why it's kind of like all fluffy and everything. Um, but I want to see like basically how it looks and show you guys how it looks after you take the braids out, because I know it's gonna look nice and curly. So okay, so today we're going to talk about goals, and do you think they're actually important for you, and why they might be important, and how you can basically change your life by having simple yet not so simple goals. So right now I'm just taking out my braids to show you guys what it looks like after I have slept in it. Okay, as you're coming on, let me know where you're coming in from. If you're watching me live or in a replay, as always, I'd love to know, and I love to connect with all of you guys. And most of all, let's be honest, I love the interaction, to know who's actually watching and actually who's brave enough to say hello, because most people are just like, oh my god, I don't want to know that I'm watching Yana. What do you guys think? Actually, it looks pretty nice. See? This is the nicest it has looked since I have tried the braid, because you got the way I like it is bigger braids on one side and smaller ones on the other side. Okay, so now that's done, right? I'll put my favorite attire. There we go. Hey, senorita, how are you doing today? And I'm so excited that Andrea is gonna have a girl, because after everything, honestly, she does deserve to have what she wants. Okay, we've all had struggles at one point in our life, and the reward should be worth it, right? So you know what I'm talking about. Okay, so let me know if this is your first time watching me, or if you have watched me before. If it's the first time, just say first time watcher. And if it's the second or third, thank you for watching me over and over again, and I truly do appreciate all your support. Okay. Oh yes, I think James, he didn't even tell me anything, but I overheard him talking about the last barbecue of the year, so I'm waiting for him to actually come and tell me what that's all about, because he did not say a word to me yet. Okay, so let's get straight to it. Now, the other thing I also started doing on my videos and posts, I would love for you guys, you actually might have noticed me put that. My little signature mark is the the little white ghost. So when you're listening to my videos, or you are reading a post that I have done, what I would love to see is when you have that light bulb moment, which we all have once in a while, right? When you have that light bulb moment, is instead of putting the light bulb down below, you put the friendly Casper ghost emoji down below. And the bigger the light bulb moment that you have, from what you're hearing that I'm saying, is the more of the ghosts you can put on there. Okay. 100th time watching me. Well, thank you. I love your support. I truly do. So now let's talk about goals. So here's the thing: how you achieve a goal, and if you're going to achieve it or not, it is completely up to you. Okay. It is your goal. You have to figure out of how you're going to get there, and you have to keep it in mind, and you have to remember the importance of it to you. Okay, and I will give you steps at the end, closer to the end, of how to set up a goal. Simple and easy, and basically how to stick with it and to actually make sure that you succeed at achieving that goal, followed by an example that most of you have actually gone through or will be going through. Okay, but before we go there, why is it important to have a goal in place and to strive for that goal? Think of it this way. There's a quote. I have an awesome book. It's called Strong Females Lead. So on here I have quotes. I don't know if you guys can see with the light says quotes. So this one quote that replays in my mind quite Look at this little guy playing there behind this curtain. So here's the quote. In the absence of clearly defined goals, in the absence of clearly defined goals, we become strangely loyal to the performing daily trivia until ultimately we become enslaved by it. So if you don't have a clear goal, a clear picture of where you're going, what you want to have, who you want to become, whatever goal you have, your goal might be you want to become this person, right? So then you have to clearly identify what that person is. So that becomes a clearly defined goal, right? You have to clearly talk about that goal and write out of what and how and why. Okay, so that might be one of your goals. Another goal might be you want to reach a certain level, or you want to make a certain amount of money, and you have to be very specific of what it is that you want. Okay, when I say very specific, if we were talking about money, you have to be very specific of how much money you want to make in a month, in a year, or in 2 years. You need to be very specific of how much you want, and it has to be big and scary, because if it's not, then it's not really a goal, right? Your goal has to be big and scary, something that you truly do want, and you're so excited and so scared to have it, but you know you want it. And because it comes to your mind, because it comes to you, into your heart and your soul, it just means it's yours. You just have to work for it. It would not come to you if it was not meant to be yours. Okay? Okay. So why it's important to know clear defined goals, which I already said, and you need to know what you're doing and why. So for example, if let's talk about this example I heard about a boat. And if you put a crew on the boat and you give them a destination of where they're going, they're 99.9% chance they're going to get there, right? There might be obstacles along the way, but they're going to get to that destination. Now think of that as your goal, right? So, and you, the boat, as you, as your mind, as you. So then you take that same boat, don't have to put a crew on it, but you take that same boat and do not give it any destination, do not set any directions, don't do anything, just put it on and turn it on for it to go. Chances are it might not even get out of that harbor. It will not get to where it's supposed to get to, because you did not give it the goal. You did not give it a destination, right? Which is a goal. That, when I heard that, I'm like, oh my God, that's a really good example. And really think about it. Think of yourself and your life as that boat. Don't you think you want that boat to get to a certain destination, your life to get to a certain destination? How do you know what the destination is if you don't have it written out as clear as the daylight? Becomes quite difficult, right? Now, another help when it comes to goal setting and your mindset as well. Think of your mind as a big field, right? On that field, you have an option to plant whatever you want. You can plant the goodies, you can plant corn, or you can plant weeds. And if you want your mind to be full of the corn, of the goodies, and not the weeds, then you have to actually plant that in there. Now, corn being the positivity, right? So you have to plant that positivity in your mind. You have to plant it yourself. You have to say it to yourself. You have to surround yourself with that. Otherwise, all you're going to have is weeds growing, because your mind is programmed to be negative. So you're going to have a field full of weeds, and it's going to be difficult to get rid of them. But it's not impossible. That's where you have to start planting the goodies, the corn, the wheat, whatever it is that you want to think about, right? So that way it can get rid of all the weeds. Okay? So, and that's the same thing goes for goals. Plant the goals, and then it will spread, because for you to get to that goal, you have to have many steps, and that's going to be planted all around that big one big goal. Okay? You cannot have positivity in your field if it's full of weeds. You cannot live a positive, happy life if you are full of negativity, if you're full of misery, if you're full of anger, whatever it is. You need to let go of all of that if you want to live a happier fulfilled life. Now, how to set that goal? Very simple steps that you can elaborate. You can have more steps if you want. I keep it very simple because the simpler it is, the higher the chance it is of you sitting down and doing it. So even this simple way is going to change your life tremendously if you allow it. And I will also tell you how. And I will give you an example of which you might have already gone through, and that is where you might have the light bulb moment. And remember, when you have the light bulb moment, you're going to put down the friendly white Casper emoji ghost down below, right? Right. Okay, so write down, get a sheet of paper, right? Preferably blue, and a blue pencil. The blue and blue speaks more to your subconscious mind. What you're going to do, you're going to write down one main goal that you want to have in a year or two, in the next year or two. Okay, so, and that goal has to be written out as clear as the daylight. Okay, so let's say, for example, you want to move to a new house. You have to write out of what house, where you want it, so that way draw a picture in your mind, right? And if, let's say, you want to make a certain amount of money in a year or two, write out, I want to make so and so in the year, like from now on, in a year span, right? So write one main goal, clear. Write out in the present tense, as in how you are feeling when you have already achieved that goal, when you have reached that goal. So in a house, you can basically write, I'm so happy and grateful now that I'm living in this house, and draw out of how this house looks, how each room looks, how big each room is, how the backyard is, how the front yard is, how many parking spots you have for the car, how big the garage is, how many cars you can fit in the garage. Like literally, I'm telling you, write out everything that you have in that house, how you want it, how you want to live your life. So you're going to be writing it out in the present tense. If it's about money, of how much money you want to make in a year, you would write how happy and grateful you are now that you have made, I don't know, first 100,000, first million, whatever it is. Let's get crazy here, right? So write out of how you're feeling and what you are living like when you have that money that you are literally dreaming of, because a goal is a dream, and what's a dream without you actually achieving it? It's not a dream, right? Because every dream is actually achievable. That's why it's there for you. That's why it comes to you, because it's very achievable. Now, flying, maybe not exactly with flapping your hands and you're gonna fly, but flying is still an achievable dream, just in a little bit of a different way. Okay, so you're gonna write it out as clear as day. I'll draw out a map of how you're gonna be living your life once you have that abundance in your life, and what you're gonna be doing, but not all for yourself, of how you're also going to be giving. Because at the end of the day, part of what we have, part of who we are, is about giving. And you cannot take and take. You have to give, because the more you give, the more you're going to get. I promise you guys. I do promise you, and you will see it. So what you're going to do as well, after you have written out your goal, that's clear paragraph, whatever, if it's easier for you, write it out. But if it's easier for you to, instead of you reading it every morning and every evening, and actually for the first week or so, I would highly recommend you reading it or listening to it. If you have, chances are you have this option where you can record your voice. Okay, so you can do a voice message to yourself to listen to every day, or to listen to yourself when you need to, and you can listen to it every hour of the day if possible. Hey Mike, thanks for hopping on. So listening will get the point across faster than reading. So as you're listening to it, you have to close your eyes and you have to imagine it. The whole point is for you to draw a picture for yourself of what that one goal is. And then when you draw a picture for yourself, you're going to have a lot higher chance for you achieving that goal. Why? It's because you have already done something like that. And how do I know? It's because if you're living in a house, okay, if you have a car, you have thought about it morning, day and night. It was on your mind constantly because that was a goal for you. It might not have been drawn out, it might not have been written out, but that was a goal for you. You decided you wanted to have a car. You drew a picture in your mind of what kind of car you wanted, the model, the brand, what it looked like inside. You might not have gotten all of that you wanted. You might have gotten more or less. You also dreamt of how much you're going to spend on it and how it's going to feel when you're driving that car off the lot. You have done that. So this is more of a conscious way of doing it, guys. When you went to buy a house, first it was an idea. Then it became a goal of you buying that house. Then what did you do? Then you started thinking of where you wanted to have that house, how big it was going to be, how many rooms it was going to have, then what color the rooms were going to be. All of these things came to you. Maybe not all at once, but they came to you as you went along. And you achieved those. You have done that already. So the same thing goes for these goals. Because you have a house, you have a car, now you have a job. Maybe you want to change your home, maybe you want to change your car, maybe you want to change your job, or maybe you can come up with a way, because you love your job so much, maybe you can come up with a way that you can actually make a lot more money in the job that you already have, right? Because at the end of the day, all of us want to feel a bigger sense of accomplishment. All of us want to feel successful, which kind of brings me to the next few points to tell you of what success is, right? Because to everyone, success is a little different. But at the end of the day, what success is basically anyone who is doing a predetermined or self-made job because that is what he or she wanted to do deliberately. So that is what success is. So basically success is a salesman who wants to become a top-notch salesman and within his organization, and he's working towards that predetermined goal for him. And also a success means if a woman wanted to become a mother and she wanted to take care of kids on her own without anyone else, I mean the husband, the baby daddy, yes, but without the daycares, even if she's doing that and she's doing a good job of it, that is what success is. So you have to determine what your success is for you and live that success. You need to figure out what your goal is, and you need to go and replay that in your mind, draw that picture in your mind, and you're going to go and achieve that goal for yourself, guys. Okay? It's not that difficult. It really is not. All you're going to do is you're going to listen to it all the time. And maybe the hardest part will be actually getting it down on paper, writing it all out like a story, like a paragraph, like a journal entry. That's another thing you can start doing, is writing out journal entries. Because a year from now, 2-3 years from now, you might go back to one of your journal entries for whatever reason, because you got pulled towards that entry. You open and you read and you will say, oh my God, I cannot believe how much I have changed, how different I am. I got goosebumps because my friend has brought that up to me, and I brought up a memory that I have had of writing out a journal entry that I wish I would have kept. Because at that time I was just writing my thoughts and my feelings down and my emotions and stuff I was going through. And I remember it. Right? So I wish I would have had that entry so I can go back to it and I can read it, because now I'm in a completely different place. So if you're going through a hard time, even if you're going through a great time, guys, if you want to remember your life, write that journal that we as kids are taught to just get everything out. Just write, just get it out, and it's practice writing, right? This is how they start in school. Practice writing. And now that I think about it, it's a great little tool to have and do, because when you're practicing writing, you're practicing writing stories. Because that's what a journal entry is. It's a story. It's your story that you can share with whoever you want, with as many people or as little people as you want. You can keep it to yourself just to kind of see how you progressed yourself. Or you can share it with the world and show the world where you were and where you have been and where you are now. And this is the reason why I did that post in the morning about what people see you as. They see you as success, but all of the things that they do not see that have helped you and led you to a point where you are now, to that success, whatever that success means to you. To everyone, it means a little something different. So all that pain, all the struggle, everything that you have gone through, people do not see. And how are they going to be able to see it if you don't share it? They don't. And that's why it's important to share your wins and your losses and your struggles, because at the end of the day, this is what people are going to relate to. They're going to relate to your pain and to your struggle a lot more than they will to your success. Okay, so that is all for today, guys. Probably quite a long video, but there's a ton of gold nuggets in there, and I know it's going to change at least one person's life. And whether you are open about it and talk about it and comment below or let me know or not, it's completely up to you. But I know it's going to change a lot of people's life if they actually follow the steps and do it every day. Every day. Every day, every day. And the biggest thing you can do for yourself as well before you achieve that goal. Here's what happens when you get to that goal and you reach that goal. What's going to happen is you're going to feel sad. You're going to feel depressed. And you're going to feel lost again. So before you achieve that goal, you have to set another goal. So that way you continue that streak. And that is very crucial. Very, very crucial, because you have to keep going. Before you achieve that goal, you have to set another one and start working on that one, because this one is, you're almost there. You're going to achieve it, because you're not going to quit, because it's still going to replay in your mind continuously, but you need to start doing it with the second one before you get there. That is the most crucial step, because otherwise you're going to lose yourself again. Okay, so that's all for today. It was a pleasure talking to all of you guys, and hopefully you learned a thing or two, and I hope to see a lot of ghost emojis down below. And thank you guys all for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.